somewhere inside you, a cleanup crew is sitting idle, fully staffed, fully capable, just waiting for a signal that most people's lifestyles never send. You've probably felt it. Recovery that takes twice as long as it used to. Energy that once came back overnight now takes days. A mind that used to be sharp now struggles at noon. In this video, we're going to cover what this system is, why modern life has almost completely suppressed it, and the 5 specific inputs, the actual biological levers that bring it back online, levers science has already identified. Let's begin. In 2016, a Japanese cell biologist named Yoshinori Osumi won the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine for discovering how your cells clean themselves. The process is called autophagy, from the Greek auto, meaning self, and phagi, meaning to eat. Your cells, under the right conditions, consume their own damaged components. That might sound alarming, but it isn't. Every cell in your body accumulates waste, damaged proteins, broken organelles, the debris of normal metabolic function. Left to accumulate, that debris becomes inflammation. Inflammation becomes dysfunction, and dysfunction becomes what most people call aging. Autophagy is the system that interrupts that sequence. It is a continuous, molecular-level recycling program running quietly in the background of every healthy cell. The factory doesn't just run the line, it dismantles its own broken machinery and rebuilds it better. So cellular energy improves, inflammation drops, tissue quality rises. This is your body's native restoration mechanism. And for most people living in the modern world, it has been slowly and steadily switched off. Autophagy isn't damaged by aging, it is suppressed by conditions, specifically the conditions of modern life. It is activated by demand, by the biological perception of scarcity. When your body senses abundance, such as constant food, warmth, or comfort, it has no reason to run the repair cycle. This is the system working exactly as it was designed. For most of human history, though, scarcity was the default. There were periods of physical exertion, periods without food, exposure to intense cold, and environmental unpredictability. Those weren't hardships to be engineered away. They were the signals that kept the cleanup crew on call. Modern living has eliminated almost all of them. A body that is always fueled, always comfortable, always idle, is a body that is almost never in repair mode. Your cells are accumulating damage faster than they're clearing it. This gap between accumulation and repair is what we experience as accelerated biological aging. It is a condition, and conditions can be changed. Now, before we get to the inputs, let's explore one more connection, and this one really matters. Your cellular energy infrastructure, the mitochondria, are also primary targets of autophagy. When mitochondria become damaged, and they do continuously, they become the single largest source of cellular debris in an aging body. Damaged mitochondria leak reactive molecules. They drive inflammation. They reduce energy output. So when autophagy is running properly, damaged mitochondria are flagged, broken down, and replaced. The process even has its own name, mitophagy. Restore autophagy, and the power grid renews. Restore the power grid, and autophagy has the energy to run. They are a loop, and when that loop stalls, which it has in most people past 40, both systems decline together. What restarts the loop requires deliberate input, 5 of them. So let's go through them. Input number 1, physical demand. This is movement as a biological signal, the kind that crosses a threshold your body registers as real. When muscle tissue is loaded past its comfort level, the cellular stress response triggers autophagy. The body interprets a genuine challenge as a directive to repair. A walk doesn't produce it. Going through the motions doesn't produce it. The demand has to be real, something the body must actually adapt to. Resistance training is the most reliable delivery mechanism, 2 to 3 sessions per week, progressive load, compound movements. That's how you send a signal your body heeds. Input number 2, thermal stress. The human body evolved in an environment of temperature variation. Cold activates the cellular stress response and triggers autophagy directly. Sustained heat, sauna level, produces a parallel cascade through a different pathway. Both work and both require consistency. A daily cold shower, regular contrast bathing, sauna use several times a week. These work, both heat and cold. Use them. Input number 3, a fasting window. Every time you eat, particularly carbohydrates, insulin rises. An elevated insulin suppresses autophagy almost completely. When the body is in fuel processing mode, repair is paused. A consistent window without eating allows insulin to fall and autophagy to begin. Research places meaningful activation somewhere between 12 and 16 hours. Think of it as a scheduled maintenance window. Your biology already knows how to run. Finish dinner at 7. Hold off resuming eating until at least 9 or 11 the following morning and reap the benefits. If you are managing metabolic conditions or diabetes, have a conversation with your physician before adjusting your feeding windows. The evidence is substantial and worth that conversation. Input number 4, deep sleep. Growth hormone, the body's primary systemic repair signal, is released almost entirely during slow-wave sleep. And autophagy just happens to peak during this same window. Disrupted sleep eliminates the only extended repair window in your 24-hour cycle. The environmental conditions under which your repair system runs best are 7 to 9 hours of sleep, consistent timing, dark room, cool temperature. But here is what most people never connect. Your nervous system cannot enter slow-wave sleep while it is on alert. And most people in the modern world are keeping their nervous system on alert around the clock, without realizing it. The phone on the nightstand, the ping at 11 p.m., the Wi-Fi router 3 feet from your head, the screen you checked one last time before closing your eyes. Each one sends a signal, a low-level alert to the nervous system that says, stay ready. Your brain cannot fully downshift into the repair state while it is waiting for the next notification. This is the most underestimated sleep disruptor. People who follow every sleep hygiene recommendation and still can't reach deep sleep usually have electromagnetic noise keeping their nervous system on alert, because these devices don't power off or go to sleep when you do. Their signals continue. Remember this, your nervous system is a receiving antenna. It evolved to detect environmental signals, good and bad, including threats or safety cues. It always registers them subconsciously. In 1952, a man called Schumann predicted Earth's own electromagnetic resonance frequency existed, and it was later found that the human nervous system calibrates itself to it. This resonance frequency is 7.83 Hertz. For most of human history, that was the dominant frequency the brain entrained to during rest. However, modern life has buried it under concrete and asphalt jungles, Wi-Fi and cellular signals, and artificial light. And the result? People are now more disconnected from the calm pulse their nervous system once imprinted upon, and this leads to a frazzled and dysregulated system. I have frequency generators tuned to 7.83 Hertz in my own home. I've given them to friends and associates who had tried everything else to help them sleep. The results were consistent. Restful, uninterrupted sleep, often the first night. The nervous system, when given a coherent frequency to entrain to, could drop them into restorative sleep and give the body access to the repair state it had been locked out of. If sleep quality is your limiting factor, start there. Phone out of the bedroom, devices off, alarm clock across the room away from your head. Your repair system runs best in electromagnetic silence. Give it some. Input number 5, specific nutritional compounds. There are compounds in food that have shown an ability to directly stimulate autophagic pathways. Here are a few examples. Spermidine, found in aged cheeses, mushrooms, and whole grains, inhibits the enzymes that block autophagy and mimics fasting cleanup mechanisms. Quercetin is an autophagy inducer that mimics caloric restriction. Trehalose is a natural disaccharide that can stimulate cellular cleanup even when nutrient-sensing pathways influenced by insulin or protein intake are active. Ficitin, found in strawberries and apples, clears senescent cells and induces autophagy. Within a system already primed by the other 4 inputs, these add measurable signal to the repair process. When you deliver all 5 inputs consistently, autophagy runs, damaged cells clear, mitochondria regenerate, inflammation drops. The biological age of your tissue does not have to match the number on your driver's license. That is what Osumi was actually saying. A system controlling biological aging had been found, and it responds to behavior. But here is what most people never consider. While autophagy is working to clear the damage, there may be something else in your body quietly working against it. And it's something most physicians never address. That is covered in the next video. See you there.